Hello everybody, my name is Cade. Welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video where we're going to be discussing the future for mortgage rates in 2023. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be going over an article that the National Association of Realtors just put out yesterday, April 27th, 2023, and it's basically forecasting mortgage rates for 2023 as well as indicating what they've been doing so far this year. So let's go over the article and then we'll kind of dive into it and I'll give you my feedback. So first and foremost, it is titled Mortgage Rates Fluctuate But Market is Stabilizing. Despite the weekly volatility in borrowing costs lately, the overall trend is down, NAR says. Though mortgage rates inched up this week, they remain below 6.5%, Freddie Mac reported Thursday. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 6.43%, up from 6.39% last week. But with the rate of inflation decelerating, rates should gently decline over the course of 2023, says Sam Cater, Freddie Mac's chief economist. Incoming data suggests the housing market has stabilized from a sales and house price perspective. The prospect of lower mortgage rates for the remainder of the year should be welcome news to borrowers who are looking to purchase a home. And I, for one, absolutely back this statement. We are seeing a much slower kind of lull in the market right now in the sense of the past 2 years. Now, at least in my market, it's still relatively hot. We're seeing houses sell within weeks, really, even a couple days for some homes, depending how nice it is and attractive. So compared to the overall market in regards to all of history, it's still very hot right now, but compared to the last couple of years, we're definitely seeing a lull, and the NAR says the same thing nationwide. As an example, and I've gone over this over all my social media profiles, which if you don't already follow me at Cade Olof everywhere. I went over a couple examples of how I've had two situations in the past month where one buyer competed with 5 offers, one was cash, and this was in a day of listing the property. And then the second buyer actually competed with 2 offers that were cash, and again, this was 2 days within listing the property. Okay, so depending on the property and how desirable it is, we do not have any supply. So there's still a ton of demand out there. And the people that can afford the rates where they're at today, they are still buying and still making offers. So just keep that in mind that every local market's gonna be a little different. Here in Sahuarita, Arizona, it's still very hot. The National Association of Realtors is predicting that the 30-year fixed rate mortgage will fall to 6% by the end of the year and to 5.6% in 2024. Buyers have shown sensitivity to movement in mortgage rates as they break their budgets to afford high home prices. But low inventory may prove an even bigger obstacle. The spring home buying season is off to a slow start because buyers can't find enough options according to NAR data. Now, this is absolutely true, just like I mentioned before. Right now, I think in Rancho Sahuarita, there's 38 homes active for sale. 38 homes out of like 6,000 to 7,000. That's crazy. Now, that's not considering new construction, but that is not enough for the demand that is there. It is absolutely crazy. So that's why we're still seeing homes that are coming on the market getting under contract within days, and even within a week. Another reason that I know for a fact we are starting to slow down, and this is not a normal spring time of season, is because I was having a conversation with one of the lenders that we use here quite a bit, one of our lending partners, and he was mentioning that in their initial consultations right now, they're not even mentioning the idea of seller concessions because there's just not enough supply. And what was once in kind of Q1 of 2023 a buyer's market where you really had buyers getting seller concessions and getting all the repairs they wanted to get done, now we're seeing another shift very quickly back into a market where sellers are starting to have the upper hand because there's just no supply out there. So for them, they're not even mentioning concessions to buyers anymore right now because it's not as common. It's so crazy how fast these markets can change. What was once in Q1, hey, use concessions to the best of your ability, right? Every buyer can get concessions right now. Now we're seeing just a quick switch, and it seems like a month. It's been a switch to where now sellers all are having the upper hands again, and buyers really have to submit their highest and best if they want to lock in a property. Freddie Mac reports the following national averages with mortgage rates for the week ending April 27th. So the 30-year fixed rate mortgages averaged 6.43%, up from last week's 6.39% average. Last year at this time, 30-year rates averaged 5.1%. 15-year fixed rate mortgages averaged 5.71%, dropping from last week's 5.76% average. A year ago, 15-year rates averaged 4.4%. So as we can see, compared to last year, we're up about 1.5% compared to last year. Just all around averages. One thing I would like to mention is that these are all forecasts. No one knows what can happen in the future, what's actually going to happen. So all of this is just forecasted. What we can pull and what is factual data is last year compared to this year. And what I can tell you, anyone who's watching this video, is that if you are in the market to buy, even with rates where they are at right now, there is still a ton of competition and some buyers are still getting beat out with cash offers or just people who are better qualified. So I do not want you, if you are a buyer in this current market, to use the idea and the excuse that the mortgage rates are the reason you cannot buy, because really a difference anywhere from 6.43 to 6.39 is not a huge difference, okay? And if at the end of this year that they are forecasted to, let's see, they are forecasted to be 6% by the end of this year, a 0.24%, yeah, it's 0.25%, but it's not crazy. It's not gonna be too much of a change, right? And so if you are using the mortgage interest rate as an excuse not to be able to buy right now, okay, I'm telling you, that is a very poor excuse. There are ways around this that we can make it more affordable for you, as far as trying to utilize what's left of seller concessions right now to where you could buy down your rate. If you have an influx of cash, you can use that to buy down your rate. You can use a 2-1, 3-2-1 buy down, temporary buy down program, or even a permanent buy down. But do not let mortgage rates be the reason that you are not getting into the current market, because as we see here, their forecasts, they're not going to be changing that much over the next couple of years. So if you are a buyer, you want a place, you have to figure out how to make it happen with the current rates where they're at right now. Especially because it's only going to get more competitive as we head into these summer months. The inventory is super low, at least in my market. It sounds like every other market in the nation right now. The supply is super low, which means there's going to be higher demand, which means pricing isn't really going anywhere, right? And I made this in a couple of other videos, right, where people are waiting for this crash, Remember, real estate is a supply and demand issue. It's not a cost or a mortgage rate issue. Okay, those are just subsidiary things that go along with the whole market in general. The basis of real estate is supply and demand. Supply and demand, supply and demand. I literally can't say it enough. So if there's not enough supply and there's still all that demand there, pricing is not gonna be dropping like 2008. Okay, it's just not gonna happen. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope that that provided some value to you and gave you an update of where we're at with rates. I'll just solidify again where the rates are. So they're right around 6.5%. ending this week, April 28th, 2023. So we're still in the mid sixes, set to probably go down to the 6 flat by the end of the year, 2023. So again, guys, if you are on the fence, please, mortgage rates are not looking to go back down to the 2s and the 3s, okay? We are in a new market where pricing is where it's at, mortgage rates are where they're at, and unfortunately, if you can't afford that, you either got to make more money or you got to look at different, cheaper options, okay? But if you can afford it, it doesn't look like it's going to be moving around anytime soon, okay? Not the pricing and not the rate. So with that in mind, moving forward, please take this into consideration, consult with a lender, consult with a realtor, and we'd be happy to help you with where you're at financially and the goals that you have for the future. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please comment down below, subscribe to my channel. Also, if you don't follow me on any of my social media platforms, I post a lot of stuff there, so you can follow me at Cade Olof everywhere. Again, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Cade, and I will see you in the next one.